every day. The town is full of predator, don't turn a little prey. I flip $1 million out of nothing, make them feel a certain way. Hoping that the switch.
What's good, y'all? Fisk Vegas, the hardest voice of sports. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the Fisk, you know, while you at it. Y'all know what time it is. If you ain't with it, you best get with it. Now let's rock. Listen, hit that sub button. Alright, hit the subscribe button. Join this Fisk Unit army and get Fisk Unit tough. Alright, what I want to talk about today is Daniel Jones' first half grade. Alright, Daniel Jones, in my opinion, is the only person on the offense that I can actually give a grade to. Just off the simple fact that everybody's been hurt, man. Sterling Shepard's been hurt. Galladay's been hurt. Tony's been hurt. Saquon's been hurt. Andrew Thomas been hurt. John Ross been hurt. Pettis is on IR, I think. It's like, after a while, it's like, shit. You know what I'm saying? He's the only guy I can do a video on the offense. Evan Ingram's a bum. I'm not even going to waste my vocals on that. And when I look at Daniel Jones, I look at a guy who has to overcome a lot. He has to persevere through a lot. Daniel Jones puts the weight of the world on his shoulders. Because without this kid, we are nothing. And sometimes Giants fans don't look at Daniel Jones in his proper context of how great of a quarterback he is. A lot of times Giants fans overlook Daniel Jones. They take it for granted. But Giants fans, have you ever stopped to think about how trash we are without him? I mean, really, when you look at this offense and the weapons, when they're like, between Jason Garrett play calling and the lack of weapons around Daniel Jones, could you imagine if we had a bad quarterback? Daniel Jones makes this offense look halfway competent. You know what I'm saying? He makes it look competent. Could you imagine if we had a lesser quarterback? Like, really, have you ever stopped to think, it's like, damn, what if we didn't have Daniel Jones? What if we drafted Zach Wilson? You know, like, have you ever thought about, like, what if Zach Wilson was our quarterback? Like, what the hell would he do? So, Daniel Jones, he finds ways to get shit done, despite his head coach blowing timeouts, despite his offensive coordinator not knowing what the hell he's doing. You know, anything that works one week, I'll bet you my whole YouTube check, Jason Garrett will not do it the next week. I mean, really, think about it, right? Daniel Jones murdered the Washington Cockroaches with his feet. All right, in week 2. He did that. Week 3 versus Atlanta, an even worse defense, no zone reads. So, one week Jason Garrett says we're going to run 10 zone reads or whatever he did versus Washington. The next week he don't do it. When we beat Carolina, it was a whole bunch of getting Daniel Jones out the pocket, moving Daniel Jones, letting him throw on the run. The next week we play Kansas City. We don't do none of that shit. They had Daniel Jones just sitting in the pocket like doing nothing. All those good bootleg plays that were throwing to Slayton and Pettis, we had Tony and Shepard out there. We didn't throw to him. I'm like, what happened to all those good plays that we ran against the Raiders? Not the Raiders, the Panthers. Like, Jason Garrett if something works one week, Jason Garrett will not do it the next. And Daniel Jones has to overcome this shit. You feel me? The Darius Slayton drop in week 2. The Adoree Jackson drop interception that negated Daniel Jones trucking the defensive tackle for a 2-point conversion. You smell me? Like, some of this is just, when I look at Daniel Jones, I can't give him anything other than an A. He has to get an A. I have to give him an A. I can't not give him an A, man. Like, it's just not, it ain't fair. I feel like Daniel Jones, there's a lot of karma. A lot of good karma's coming his way. You know how you say, when somebody does something bad to you, you say karma gonna get you. I'm gonna let karma get you. Well, you know, that's a two-way street. When a lot of bad things happen to you, eventually every dog has his day. Some good gonna come your way too, man. And I think with Daniel Jones, eventually, you know what? Eventually his weapons are gonna stay healthy. Eventually when Daniel Jones gets smacked, throwing a deep ball to a receiver for the game, he catches it. Maybe the next time on Thursday Night Football, when his tight end gets wide open on a wheel route, he catches the ball. Maybe next time his cornerback picks off that interception to seal the game. Kind of like Asante Samuel and Ty Law used to do for Brady all the time. You know, eventually some things has got to go right for this kid. Daniel Jones does a lot of good, and it all gets negated because of the filth around him. The filth and the ineptitude surrounding this kid is laughable. It's laughable. I wonder how great Daniel Jones would be if he was on the Saints. How great would Daniel Jones be if he was in Kansas City? How great would Daniel Jones be if he was in New England with Josh McDaniels or something? Like, how much better would this perfect prospect? Daniel Jones is a perfect prospect. I call him like he's Gohan in Dragon Ball. Remember in Dragon Ball, Gohan had the uncapped potential, but it was never utilized. That's how I look at that with Daniel Jones. This is a perfect prospect. You got one of the fastest quarterbacks in the league. He's like 6'4", 6'5", 230. He can throw the ball down the field on a rope. He's got a strong arm. He's smart. He's not an asshole like Baker Mayfield. He's not touching women like Deshaun. I look at Daniel Jones like this is the perfect prospect, and we're fucking it up. I mean, this kid Daniel Jones is the perfect prospect, and we're fumbling him, and it bothers me. Like, we're fumbling this kid. I give him an A, man. Gotta give him an A, because realistically speaking, we should be 6-3. The Giants should be 6-3, man. We should be 6-3. Maybe we beat Denver if our defense I'll put it this way, if our defense was playing week 1 the way they're playing now, we'd have beat Denver. And Darius Slayton don't drop those 2 balls. Can't forget that, but whatever. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We're 3-6, should be 6-3. It's a whole lot of season left. I think we'll finish with around 7 wins. I think the Giants can get to around 7 wins, which is, I'll do another video on that. I'll break down the schedule. But even if we do finish with 7 wins, that's one more win than we got last year. I hate to be a jerk, but it's true. That's it. That's all though, man. Subscribe to the unit if you rocking with me. My name is Fisk Vegas, and I approve this message.